Hello, we are the room temperature people. I'm Chanel and these are my group mates, Anna, Piari, and Hannah. First, we will expand on the current problem of food waste in catering. Next, we will delve into the research conducted by our group which informs our solution. Then, we will elaborate on our solution and our prototype. Lastly, we will evaluate our solution and discuss potential future developments. Let's start with the problem. In 2019 alone, Singapore generated a ridiculous 744 million kilograms of food waste. In the last 10 years, our food waste has increased by 20%. Food waste in Singapore is unfortunately not only a very severe problem, but one that stands to worsen if we don't change the way we consume and dispose of our food. PAIM caters food for their volunteers and participants across many events and has noticed extensive food waste when catering. How do we optimize food consumption by participants and volunteers during events and minimize the environmental impacts of food waste?
Thanks, Sunil. But before we can solve that problem, we have to conduct research to inform the solution. We have found there are three main stakeholders to address, namely organizers, participants, and the wider community in the vicinity of the event. We identified these 6 pain points which drive food waste. They occur throughout every stage of event organizing, so to tackle them, we studied the journey an organizer takes when planning an event from start to finish. There are 4 stages. Organizers plan the event, run it, do the event cleanup, and finally, the event postmortem. One issue with the first stage is that the organizer has the challenge of sorting through disorganized and unconsolidated information about different caterers to choose an appropriate one. We think there's an opportunity here to choose a caterer with sustainable practices, serves delicious food, and can deliver quickly at the right times to reduce food waste. In running the event, participants may not know when they can expect food. They may not be able to eat the food even if they want to due to long queues and waiting times. Organizers should increase the time volunteers have to eat or make times more flexible, since studies have shown that having more time to eat can lead to a decrease in plate waste from 43.5% to 27.2%. The third stage is the cleanup. Currently, leftover food is often just thrown away, so there are other options we could look at. After the event is over, post-event feedback and discussion could provide us with valuable data. This is an opportunity to use data analysis to improve future events. We study existing solutions to draw inspiration and find the gaps in food waste management. NGOs, such as the Food Bank and Free Food for All, redistribute food for those in need. Apps like Makan Rescue and Telegram channels notify the public of excess food they can eat. Better waste management also reduces food waste. The Love Your Food at Schools campaign equips primary schools with composters. Technology to convert food waste to recoverable energy is also available in Singapore. However, there are limitations. Namely, it is difficult to pass food to non-profits since food must be consumed within 4 hours. Furthermore, obtaining food waste converters ourselves will be expensive and space-consuming. This research informs us about what we need to prioritize in our solution, which will be discussed by Hannah.
Thank you, Anna. We are proud to present Cater Easy, which is a simple solution we've come up with for sustainability, which supports your event. As you can see on the left, we've come up with a prototype for Cater Easy. Pardon the spoilers. All right. So our goals is that Cater Easy should be simple to use, sustainable at every step, as well as creating an ecosystem where everyone can play a role in reducing food waste. When you enter Cater Easy, the first thing you see is the dashboard. The dashboard allows you to tailor your experience to what you need. As an event organizer, you choose events, join events as an event participant, or get free food as a member of the public. In your events, you want to create a new event, and then when you do so, you can customize it, adding timings or other info, which is all stored in a single place, Cater Easy, which solves the problem of information being scattered in different places. Then afterwards, you want to do catering. We've also solved the problem of not having catered information all in one place by listing caterers and providing brief descriptions of them. Filters allow you to search effectively by sustainability practices, as well as the popularity and quality of food. This allows you to make an informed decision about all of the different aspects of catering and choose caterers which will please your volunteers as well as reduce food waste through that. All of the data we've collected allows you to view data and compare caterers and make better decisions through Cater Easy. Finally, we also have pop-ups that show up throughout the process to suggest sustainable alternatives, such as, for instance, if you're having an event that isn't very long, you might choose to provide snacks instead of catered meals because snacks are non-perishable and cause less food waste overall. Then when you're ready, you'll start the event. Normally, during the event, you have a separate means of notifying participants of different changes, such as when the food is ready. However, through Cater Easy, you can put it all in one place. You can have your schedule there to declare staggered buffet timings, and when the food arrives, you can send food arrival push notifications. These allow you to disseminate links to inform participants throughout the event in real time if there are any delays or any changes. Furthermore, if you need any of the information you put together earlier, it's all consolidated in the same place in the Caterezi app, so you can quickly access information such as the caterer's contact numbers. During the event, the participants also benefit because if they have the app downloaded, they can get reminders of what to bring to the event, consolidated event information, as well as push notifications when the food is served so that they never miss a meal. Hence, both the participants and the organizers benefit from this streamlined process during the event. When the event is over, you want to deal with the food waste that has been created because inevitably there will be food waste left over. There are two options for this. One is we want to partner with some of the existing solutions we've discovered, soup kitchens, composting, and food digesters, to reduce the environmental impact of the waste. And we've collated the information inside the app itself to make it easier for you to liaise with these organizations. Two, we're hoping that you can invite the public to eat, and thus you can encourage nearby members of the public as well as volunteers to take leftover food to tapao home or immediately consume. As you can see here, the events are listed with the distance to you as well as what food is available. And when you click on it, you're able to see the food that's available and decide whether or not you want to eat it. Finally, in the fourth stage of the event, you want to conduct a postmortem in order to gain data that you can use to plan better events in the future. So through Caterezi itself, you can track all the food waste, create polls with the participants about the food in the event, and then with all of your collated data, you can process and analyze that data to generate new insights for better event planning. Thank you, and I'd like to pass the time on to Piari.
Thank you, Hannah. Caterezi works for all of our stakeholders because it meets our goal of creating a simple and sustainable ecosystem. As mentioned before, event planning can be tedious and research heavy. There are many different stages of event planning which exacerbates the difficulty in communicating with others. Taking sustainability into account may also discourage those who don't really consider it. Caterezi creates a holistic ecosystem that cuts out this difficulty. This is because using the app is easy. Event planning is scaffolded and event information is collated for you. It scales for large events, but it's also feasible for small ones. The user-friendly design works on the go, and most importantly, it does its job for all stakeholders. Furthermore, Caterezi promotes sustainability by encouraging its users to take the more sustainable option at every point, from the catering, scheduling, to the food disposal. Now, why do these goals allow Caterezi to work for all our stakeholders? The all-in-one consolidated framework helps guide organizers in planning the event and provides them with all the work and resources they need. For participants, their eating habits and preferences are taken into account and they are kept in the loop during the event itself. This also helps us reduce food waste. Finally, the wider community is actively engaged by sharing a platform that allows them to interact more easily and encourages them to adopt sustainable practices.
Let's talk about the technology we incorporated into our solution. We decided a phone app was the best solution due to it being accessible, easy to use, and due to a more efficient relaying of information through notifications, and because it consolidates information all in one place. Machine learning is a useful tool that helps us in two important ways. It helps us suggest partnerships and events, and by finding the most frequently utilized caterers, smart suggestions can be made to organizers to streamline their organizing process. Participants also get tailored suggestions to events that they might enjoy. Furthermore, with accumulated data, the app can help to estimate what food and how much food will be eaten based on demographics and previous events.
Thanks, Chanel. We've taken various steps to ensure the feasibility of Caterezi. Firstly, the technology Caterezi leverages off of has already been used to great effect in other applications in the case of AI and machine learning, or it's easy to access by forming partnerships with organizations in the case of food waste digesters. Next, even without a large mass of users, the app can still be greatly beneficial in including plans to minimize food waste in every part of the event organizing process.
Let's look at our stretch goals. First, partnering with caterers to offer special discounts or offers for their sustainable products on Caterezi. Next, partnering with NGOs to help our app gain a wider outreach. Next, incorporating better tools to share our data, such as intra-organizational sharing, to help us read better data insights. Next, partnering with organizations with food waste digesters to loan our users sit digesters. And lastly, creating a partner app for caterers, since this will address food waste at its source. With that, we've come to the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for your time, and this is Room Temperature People signing off.